So welcome to AI TV. Today we're broadcasting live from Cape Town, and it's a great honour to welcome Tim Parle from the Western Cape Government.
That's right.
Focusing on, your department focuses on the digital economy, is that
That's
correct,
right.
Tim? Yeah.
We're part of the Department of Economic Development and Tourism, but we look after the digital economy.
Brilliant. So, Tim, welcome. I mean, these stories and interviews that we're doing at the moment are really just diving deeper into some of the entrepreneurs, businesses, suppliers, buyers, ecosystem players in the Western Cape, and specifically here in Cape Town, helping build the fourth industrial revolution, the AI economy that you and I know have been talking about over the last few months. It's an exciting time for the region. How are you seeing this play out? What are some of your observations from this year? Because I think this year's been quite an interesting year for the Western Cape, and starting to embrace these opportunities.
Yeah, it's been not long since we've had some of the big announcements like the Get Smarter 2U, and there's a few other companies that have really expanded, done a lot in the last year. We saw about 450 to 500 companies in the region per report in 2018, focusing a lot on fintech, software, all sorts of areas. Don't have any new numbers, but I expect there are more companies, but it's not so much the company numbers, we are seeing expansion of the companies, that's important.
So
we want to see them to move from startup to scale up.
Yeah, so they're recruiting, growing, okay.
That's right.
And I think in one of the conversations I was having earlier in the day today, we were talking about fintech. I mean, the fintech initiative here in the Western Cape has been fantastic.
Yes.
A really strong ecosystem. And I think the AI ecosystem, I think we're about 3 years behind. So we're here, we've arrived, and now hopefully we can catch up and do the same as what we've done with fintech. What kind of initiatives are the Western Cape Government rolling out to help support that and get this ecosystem going?
We've done a lot in terms of skills. That's the area that we're most concerned about. A lot that we've heard back from the industry is that they can't get to that scale up, or they can't grow. They're constrained because of a difference in the supply and demand. There's a demand apparently of the order of 200,000 tech jobs in South Africa at the moment, probably about a quarter of those in the Western Cape, but the skills just aren't there. Companies are taking 6 months to recruit the right person, and there's just demand in the way that folks are competing for the same resource. So we're trying to break that model. We're trying to increase the number of young folk coming into the pool. We have various initiatives along the way. First of all, we've got our own initiatives that focus on digital literacy, making sure that everybody and anybody knows how to drive devices, understands the power of technology, and is equipped in their own home with the right skills to use these. We have programs running at schools. We are looking at new programs at schools, again building a lifelong interest in tech, and so that more folks will come into the industry. There's some great initiatives locally. You will be aware of things like Younglings and We Think Code, all these different academies. We are looking at our own program as well to see how else we can stimulate that, what other initiatives are needed, and the concept, it's only in concept phase at the moment, something called a Digital Skills Accelerator, and yeah, just bring more people in and find out what's the best way to do that. Is it face-to-face learning? Is it sort of a mass open course, that type of thing, distance learning? It's probably the answer is going to be somewhere in between, some sort of blended learning. So yeah, that's a big focus, is digital skills. That's I think that's one area we're really looking to add value. The other areas in terms of the ecosystems, again, based on a lot of research, we've found that the ecosystems, they feed off each other in a positive and a constructive way. We have a great culture of that exists in the Western Cape. There are some of those who've been through the whole startup scale-up story are quite happy to share their knowledge and to foster the young talent and invest in it, not only in their time but also their capital. And we have programs underway to be able to grow those ecosystems. We're looking across different sectors or subsectors, things like fintech, security tech, screen tech, which is sort of media, gaming, all of those sorts of things, and health tech, and also looking at sort of general 4IR technologies. Blockchain always comes up. I think that's still finding its place. IoT, all these different areas, and of course AI. Can't leave that one off the list.
Yeah, thanks for that. I was wondering when you were going to mention that. But yeah, look, I mean, I think it's very early days. And as I say, I think, you know, you mentioned fintech, blockchain. Again, those are technologies where there has been a fairly healthy, vibrant ecosystem that's evolved. I mean, AI Expo, obviously you came to. We ran our second show only this year. So, and that trade community didn't exist. So,
Correct.
I mean, a lot of us are doing things for the first time. And it's new to everyone. I think everyone's learning and sharing, and actually this is what part of these stories is all about, to share those stories. What do you see perhaps over the next 5 years? Let's look out a little bit further. Some of the bigger goals that you think, or the bigger challenges that we think we need to address here in our region.
Okay, well, you've got to start with a vision. Our vision is to make Cape Town and the Western Cape, you've got to add that one in as well, it's all important, it's for the whole of the province, but to be the digital hub of Africa. And the second part of that is we want to be the talent capital of Africa. So I've spoken a lot about the skills training in the first part of this interview. So the digital hub, where is it going to go? Well, I think we have landed some of the big organisations here in Cape Town already. I think they're going to continue to grow. From what we see, they're still very positive about the environment. They are managing to recruit, they are managing to find the facilities, they're managing to find the infrastructure. I see them growing a lot. AI is an area, I think it's set to grow. I really look forward to this journey. I think we're seeing from the academics, we're seeing practical examples, we're seeing industry taking it up. So definitely growth in all these areas.
Yeah, I think the thing that you mentioned there about groups of people sharing their knowledge and experiences. I mean, I think I have seen from going out into the industry myself, both industry and academia do need to get more joined up. I mean, that's one of the goals that we have in our community. And actually allowing, I think some universities do it better than others, but for them to understand just how easy it is for entrepreneurs to start a business while they're still undergraduates, while they're still on the campus, and yet the university may not know that they've got these seeds of businesses on their campus, and then these guys leave. And maybe there's a missed opportunity there. I mean, is there anything that we can be doing perhaps to get some more joined up thinking around entrepreneurism within university campuses?
Well, I think Silicon Cape are doing some great stuff there. I'm sure others are as well. And just having a sort of a club environment, getting the folks together, getting the hackathons, having the events. First of all, that's bringing the people together. One of the questions, and I think the universities will need to sort this out, is around IP. There's been some good press and there's been some bad press this year about things that have been developed, not necessarily in our space, but where the question is where the IP rests and if they're going to come and try and capitalize on that. But certainly UCT has a facility. I know the University of Stellenbosch has a facility. Not sure about the other two, but where to build on the IP. And to commercialize things that are created at the universities. I've also seen it's in a related thing, the Ingenie, the EdTech ventures, and several in the cohort this year are folks who are at university and have developed solutions for students while still at university.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned about Cape Town being one of the talent capital. Actually, one of the entrepreneurs, I mean, I came here as a sort of, I'm an expat, right, from the UK. I've made my home here, I've built a business here already. And that was a tough journey when you come here and don't know anyone. And actually, one of the entrepreneurs we were talking to this morning was saying that, he wants to encourage more entrepreneurs to come to this region. It's a great lifestyle, cost of living relative to the Western world is very good. It's broadly always sunny and windy. But how can we speed up that process? People coming with new ideas and hopefully money in their pockets to spend here. They can fast track their way in here. I mean,
they can't fast track at the moment, not yet. So, but that is something that we are working on. The visa regime at the moment is tricky, and we are actively engaging with the Department of Home Affairs, particularly on the critical skills list.
Yes, that's what they mentioned actually.
And our understanding is that is several years out of date. And with definitions that are tricky, that somewhere in some closeted room, some bureaucrat is having to work out, are you a software engineer or not, and do you fill the following criteria? So at the moment we are actively working with the Department of Home Affairs. We've got some proposals on how to refresh that critical skills list and how to help them adjudicate on that. So anyway, it's one of these watch the space things. It'll take its time, but we are actively driving that. One of the reasons is we definitely have cases where foreign folks have come in, business people, and we've got the facts and figures that for each person that comes in, they do create opportunity. It's not necessarily taking food off the table of South Africans, which seems to be the fear of the Department of Home Affairs. Rather that they are bringing new opportunities and can help grow, either develop from scratch or grow businesses. That's particularly true in the BPO sector as well. So yeah, it's not trivial, from what I understand, to come into the country as a foreign national, but we are looking at ways to improve that. Our colleagues in the film sector have managed to find some dispensation, and we're looking at to draw parallels with that.
Well, I mean, just to wrap up, Tim, that's really positive news. I think one of the statements that came from one of the stories earlier on today was, if we can put on the critical skills list data science, artificial intelligence, IoT, and make those definitions clearer, then perhaps we'll obviously achieve that goal. But it's great to hear that dialogue started, and thanks very much for being here today and sharing your insights. It's great to talk to someone very proactive in government that's trying to make a difference and make these things happen. So thanks very much for joining us.
My pleasure, our pleasure. Thanks.
Thanks.